So I'm definitely gearing this more towards helping people out, helping people learn about how to eat, how to train, how to diet, and more importantly, how to combat disease and how to be the healthiest you, not just think you're the healthiest you. Hello, it's day 33 and I weigh 224.5 pounds. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm a third the way there. My stamina is good in the gym. My power is good in the gym. I don't feel super exhausted. I had a really interesting conversation with a cardiologist just now about how there are some folks out there who do ultra marathons and competitive biking. He was talking about a patient who was a competitive bicyclist, I believe, and would show up to his office in a tracksuit, the whole 9 yards, and unfortunately for this patient, he had multi-vessel disease in his heart and needed to undergo an open heart surgery to basically bypass the clogged arteries supplying his heart with blood. Or so, for my medically proficient people out there, that's called a CABG procedure, a coronary artery bypass graft procedure. It's pretty common nowadays, but it's a big deal. And so I think there's a lack of education surrounding how to eat to prevent yourself from having a heart attack. Because you can be incredibly in shape, right? Phenotypically look, I don't know why I'm doing this because I still feel like I'm not in great shape, but you can look in shape and have a horrible diet and your body's just suffering on the inside. And that can kind of cause coronary artery plaque to build up, otherwise known as atherosclerosis, which can lead to a heart attack. And so I'm interested in that. I'm interested in bringing that to the attention of the general population and ways that you can learn about mitigating, reducing your chance of having those events, of having a heart attack. And hopefully I can bring value to someone and they can learn more about the inside of their body, what to eat, what not to eat, how to train, how to be healthy, how to live an active lifestyle, and not make it a miserable nightmare. All right, so day 33, I'm gonna keep this real short. I got stuff to do, but that's where we're at. Cheers. It's day 35 and I am 20 pounds down. I didn't expect to lose this much weight this quickly, but for obvious reasons I did. For anyone who's going to view this video, I would just say, get yourself a calorie tracker, work hard in the gym, see how many calories you burn, and try to eat between 500 and 1,000 calories less a day. It's really that simple. There aren't any secrets. There aren't any magic tricks you can pull here. It's just calories in, calories out. I'm feeling good. I had some really bad pumps in the gym the past couple days. Obviously just pushed through them. At this point in my lifting career, when I get to the gym and I've done my warm-up and I've gone through the motions, I can pretty much power through any sort of activity. It may not be great. I may not have the most amazing strength, but I can get it done. So that's been pretty sweet. But yesterday I drank a C4 before my workout, which was new. I haven't touched an energy drink like that in a while, and I burned way more calories. I burned the most amount of calories I've ever burned in the shortest period of time, which was like 1,000 calories in about an hour and 35 minutes or something. So crazy. How I did that was I did incline walking / running for 2 miles, and then I hit shoulders, and then I went back to a run. So that worked pretty well for me. The content's going to explode in May because I'm going to be going to a gym that's going to let me actually shoot. So I'll bring my mic, I'll bring the rig, and I'll hopefully get better at editing and lighting and stuff. Right now I have a light directly in my eyes, which is absolutely killing me, and I'm going to have to figure out a way to not do that. But I also figured out how to set up my camera remotely to my computer, which is interesting. It looks very grainy on the computer right now, so I'm not sure how this is going to look ultimately, but ChatGPT recommended I use soft light, and I bought one, so anyway, video editing stuff. Yeah, 20 pounds down, day 35. Absolutely wild. Truly did not expect to get this low this quick. Especially because I'm not really going about this as a crash diet. It's not like I'm not eating. Um, I definitely say another thing I'm just doing candidly is if it gets to be late at night, like 9:30 p.m., 10:30 p.m., and I haven't totally gotten to my calorie goal, like 2,500 calories, I just won't eat because at that point I don't want to wake up and feel gross and I don't want the scale to be super high. I've said this before, but so basically I'm kind of doing like intermittent fasting where I'm eating high protein, low fat, low carb in the morning and then increasing the carbs and calories throughout the day, and then I have a cutoff at like it's not an absolute cutoff, but like 8 o'clock at night I want to be done eating. And at this point, if it's late, I got home from a workout and it's like last night for example, I got home at like 10:20 p.m. Had about 200 calories left, was starving, went on ChatGPT, saw that I could have like a quarter cup of fat-free cottage cheese and a teaspoon of peanut butter. And I was like, all right, I'll do that. And then I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to not eat these 200 calories. So unfortunately, it's coming down to a numbers game. But I wanted to be clear that like there are some days I'm going slightly lower than 2,500. I haven't exceeded it. So I kind of have a hard stop, a hard ceiling at 2,500. And I'm just like done right now when I get there. And if I'm super hungry after the fact, I will just pretty much do anything in my power to distract me from the hunger. So I'll either sink my teeth into work-related things or talk to a friend or drink 4 carbonated beverages that are sugar-free or drink a ton of water. And thankfully, I haven't been super hungry because if you're dieting correctly and you know what you're doing, and you're eating enough fiber and vegetables and drinking enough water and eating the right foods, you won't be super hungry. If you're super hungry, something's going to have to budge because that's not sustainable. And so I don't want to trick people into thinking like, oh, I'm full all the time dieting and losing 20 pounds. Like, no, I'm hungry for sure. I'm hungry. But it's a satisfying feeling being a little bit hungry every now and then. More frequently, I've become more hungry, but it's not to the point where I can't just sit down and focus on a task or whatever it is I'm trying to do. It's not taking away from my work. So I feel like when you get to that point of hunger, it's like, all right, like what are you doing here? Like just go eat something, you know? If it's debilitating, like you got to eat. So that's where we're at. Doing well. Got a little internal medicine shelf exam coming up, and then we're moving to Florida. All right, what's up? Just did a nice little 5-hour study session at the Upper Darby Library. Super cool place. Enjoyed it. Probably should have taken some footage. I didn't. Did want to come on to say that it is possible to eat healthy on the go. So I'm actually sitting in the parking lot at Wawa, and I got a Core Power. This thing is nasty. 42 grams, like in a good way. 42 grams of protein, 9 grams of carbs, 3.5 grams of fat. I mean, it's essentially a meal replacement, so dope. I'm also planning on working out after this, so I'm going to go right to Lifetime and just catch a quick lift and then go back and study more. And then these also caught my eye. Yeah, Quest Frosted Cookies. 11 grams of protein, 18 grams of carbs, so like carby, and then 13 grams of fat. Not the best macros, but can scan it and, move on with my life. So that's the plan right now. Just going to suck this down and get going. Also had to get a 12-ounce black coffee. Hazelnut, of course. I only go hazelnut. That's not true. Sometimes I'll mix it up and do like Colombian or whatever else they have if hazelnut's out. But, if I'm going to be honest, like before the Left Shreds thing, I would go to Wawa and just get whatever I wanted, you know? Chips, hoagies, smoothies, cookies, donuts. What else did I like there? Chocolate milk. Big chocolate milk guy. The soft pretzels at Wawa are insane. So, I mean, one day, I'll get back to some of that stuff in moderation. But right now, it's a protein shake, Quest protein cookies, and a black coffee. And that's just the way it is. So, that's to say that, you know, if you're on the go, like today I've been on the go all day, it is possible to actually eat healthy and like achieve your macronutrient goals, but you just got to know what to pick. So like instead of putting coffee creamer in here, I'm using it black. This is 0 cal. It's nothing, right? It's going to burn calories probably by drinking it. And then the shake and the cookies they're not a meal, you know, like it's artificial food, but hey, it's going to get me towards my goal, so I'm not complaining too much. All right. Well, that's about it. See you in the next one. Good. Anyway, quick thought that I did kind of want to just share with the public. I was having a conversation last night or the other night with a friend of mine, and I was like, you know what, man, like there are just some guys out there who walk around lean, six-pack, chiseled, like it's nothing. Like they're not pouring their hearts into the gym, 2-hour workouts every day, counting every single calorie. They just look good. And I was in my bag. I was upset about it. And then I worked out just now, and it hit me that I am going to be so proud of myself when I have a package that I'm proud of, when I have a body that I've worked extremely, extremely, extremely hard to get, that, you know, other people, if it comes naturally, genuinely probably can't be as proud of. I mean, it's not like you can be proud of something you didn't really work for. So, sure, I mean, there's a little bit of envy and jealousy of people who are lean 24/7 and don't think about it and can just eat whatever, do whatever, and look shredded all the time. For sure. But, you know, my journey's a little different. I had to work pretty hard to just not be obese, essentially. Because my default is to just eat and eat and eat. So, you know, I just wanted to share that with anyone who watches this, because end of the day, it's really just about you versus you. And I guess at the end of the day, it's just a matter of being the best version of yourself. So, sure, there are people out there that are completely shredded who can annihilate me in the gym on every single movement, better form, stronger, harder, more striated, blah, 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 more knowledge about the gym, more knowledge about exercise physiology, medicine, have better scores, get into better residencies. There's always someone out there who's going to be better than you. But that's why you just got to compare yourself to you. So I'm proud of myself. We got a little ways to go. We're just getting started. Starting to notice some more striations and freakiness going on, which I'm pretty pumped about. Like my waistline just looks tighter, which is great because I have a lot of like adiposity centrally, so it's like my waist is wide essentially, and I hate that. You know, like it grinds my gears. So the only way to I think the only way at this point to get it off is to just get ridiculously lean, because that's where I store fat. So if I get lean, it's not going to be there. All right, well, that's about all I got. See you guys in the next one, and have a good one. Peace. Okay. We are so incredibly back, it's not even funny how back we are. Day 42, 224. I had a really big cheat meal last night. Ended up going a little bit bananas. I had 100 grams of oatmeal with as much chocolate chips as I wanted at the time, which turned out to be, I don't know, 3, 4 tablespoons of chocolate chips. It was great. Um, I also got boneless buffalo like bites from TJI Fridays. That was like the big meal, and um, I had like 2 sorbet low calorie mango ice creams. Um, so did I take footage of me eating this? No. Was it a binge? Not really. I burned 4,500 calories yesterday, which is a lot for me. It's like roughly 3/4 more or something like that than I normally do. I did like a 30-mile bike ride in the morning and then chest day. And then it occurred to me that I was extremely hungry and I hadn't had a cheat meal once. You want to have refeed meals every now and then when you're dieting because you want to feel like you're eating. Because when you're dieting every single day and you're going to bed in a calorie deficit, sometimes it just doesn't feel like you're ever really full, which kind of sucks. And it's mental. So when I did this back in 2020, I would have strategically planned meals around big activity days, which I could kind of use as a refeed, feel really full and satiated, and then go on to the next diet day. So people carb cycle, which is where you do low days and high days in carbs, which is another great idea. So the days that you're less active, you eat fewer carbs. The days you're more active, you eat more carbs. If you're on the go, like you travel a lot for work or you're going to be traveling, you have some days where you're traveling and other days where you're not traveling. Having meals on the go is it's essential. It's everything. Because even when I'm like just not really thinking about it and I'm out and about, I'll eat like 3 bags of protein chips and 2 protein bars, and that could have been a regular meal with more fiber and things that are just like objectively going to make you feel better and fuller for longer. And so I'm trying to cut down on those periods of time where I'm like, ugh, protein bar time, protein snack, fake this, that time. Like, no, just have a meal prepared and have a means of transporting the meal. It's not that hard. So we've overcome that obstacle. Now it's about preparation.